So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's lecture. This is supposed to be the last lecture on the topic of refraction. So we would be able to finish refraction today. We almost did it in the last class, but we could not do it. I think the displacement method was going on, and we could not complete it. So what I'll do is we'll go through the displacement method again once so that everyone understands it because the question on displacement method may very well come in your exam. So let us have a recap and understand it once again. What do you mean by displacement method for convex lens? Remember, it is only valid for a convex lens. All of us understand this, yes or no? So what happens in this displacement method? I think you should be doing a practical on this in the displacement method. What happens is you have one object. Do you see this object here? You have one object and you have one screen. This object and the screen are kept fixed. Object and the screen are kept fixed. And then you have a converging lens, a convex lens. Now you can move.
just one pair పెట్టింది మీ కాలేజ్.
Yes, beta. Sorry, I could not hear you.
Nothing, sir. Just small mic problem.
I'm not able to make out what you have said. The voice is echoing too much. You want me to wait? Is that what?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, your voice is echoing so much. It's very hard for me to make out what you are saying. Anyways, I hope everything is fine. So, in the displacement method, what happens is you have an object O and a screen which are placed at a distance d apart from each other. Which are placed at a distance d apart from each other. They are fixed, they can't move. What can move is your lens, is your convex lens. Remember, this is only valid for a converging lens or a convex lens. Now you can move this convex lens between the object and the screen. Between the object and the screen, you can move this convex lens. Then, depending on the value of d, there could be 1 or 2 or 3, 1 or 2 or 0 positions possible for this lens to create a real image. In what cases, what happens? That is the entire concept of this displacement method for this convex lens. If this d is greater than 4f, if this d is greater than 4f, then you can have two positions where you can find a real image appearing on the screen. How does this d greater than 4f comes? If I put the values of v and u in this equation for lens, I will get two possible values of u by solving the quadratic equation. And this quadratic equation only has real roots if d is greater than or equal to 4f. So if d is greater than 4f, don't worry, we will do problems on each and every point so that looking at the problems, you can understand how questions will be framed. We'll do a couple of maybe 4 or 5 problems on this so that you understand this, because every problem may ask something different, and there are many things that can be asked here. So the first case is where d is greater than 4f. If d is greater than 4f, you will have two positions for the lens to create real image on the screen. Do we understand this? Do we understand this point? Let me call this as point number one. Point number one is when D is greater than 4F, you will have two positions for which a real image is formed. And why this comes? If you can remember this value of U, which comes from the determinant, which comes from the discriminant, which comes from the quadratic equation, it would be very good. The more the number of things that you can remember here, because sometimes they may ask you the value of U, sometimes they may ask you the value of F, different things. Case number two happens when D is smaller than F, 4F. If D is smaller than 4F, the determinant that we see, I always call it determinant, discriminant that we see becomes negative and no real solutions are possible for this equation. Therefore, you will not have any real image formed. There will be no position of the convex lens for which you can see any real image being formed. Do we understand this? This is point number two. If D is greater than 4F, two positions. If D is less than 4F, no position. Then obviously we will have a condition number three, where D is exactly equal to 4F, which is I'm pointing out in blue. When D is exactly equal to 4F, only one position is possible. And all of us know that this position is the position where the object is placed at 2F. So the position of the object is at 2F. The position of the image will also be at 2F on the other side. This is the least distance between the object and the image for which a real image is formed. Three cases, I'll give you 2 minutes. Note them down again, read them again because it's important for you to understand this. Question on this may look very confusing. You may have a lot of literature written with it. Most likely they will come in JEE Advanced. Lots of things written, but you just have to do a single thing and you will get the answer. D is greater than 4F, two images, two real images. D is equal to 4F, one real image, where U is equal to 2F. D is less than 4F, you will not have any real image. That is the first point that you must understand, which is shown in point number 1, 2, and 3. In case number 3, the object distance, the object is placed at 2F on one side and you will have image formed at 2F on the other side. All of us understand this, yes or no? Okay. So this is the first point that you must understand here. If you have understood this, please raise your hand so that we can move and look at the other points. Everything comes from that discriminant d square minus 4d. What is the value of that d square minus 4d? If you understand that, rest of the things are pretty simple. Now, what happens? Let us say d is greater than 4f. Then I will have two values of u for which a real image is formed. Remember, I have not change the position of the object. I have not changed the position of the screen. Only I am changing the position of the lens. For two position of the lens, we will have real image form. For one, the value of u will be u1 will be d minus this thing, the discriminant divided by 2. The other position will be where u2 will be d plus that discriminant divided by 2. So these are the two positions. We will solve questions on each of them one by one. We'll take one question. We will solve all the parts in that question so that you are able to understand what could be asked. That is the second point that you must understand. Values of u1 and u2. Everyone agrees with this? Do we understand this? Clear? Can I move ahead? Now, the third point here is once you understand that there are two values of u, u1 and u2, there will be two values of v, v1 and v2. Now, if I just draw the diagram and see, u1 plus v1 will be equal to capital D, because the distance between the object and the screen is fixed. Similarly, u2 plus v2 will also be equal to D. Do we understand this? Yes or no? u1 plus v1 will be equal to D. u2 plus d2 has to be equal to D. And when I calculate, a surprising thing comes. And what is that surprising thing? That this u1, the distance of the object in the first case, comes same as the distance of the image in the second case. That is the next thing that you have to understand. u1 will always come same as v2. u1 comes same as v2, then this v1 will come same as u2. That is the next point that you have to understand in this. u1 numerically is equal to v2. v2 or v1 is numerically equal to u2. Simple things. If you understand any question that not many would be able to solve in the JEE, remember, in JEE, and this question may not come in JEE Main. In JEE Main, only one part can come probably. In JEE Advanced, they make the papers a slightly tough one. Then they can ask some really interesting things here. Okay. Now, shall we move ahead? u1 is equal to v2, v1 is equal to u2. Then I can eliminate u and get the value of focal length of the lens. This is the experiment that you are going to do, my dear friends. You will have to calculate the focal length of this lens from this experiment. So what you will do, you will have an object fixed, you will have an screen fixed, you keep it fixed, you will have a lens. Then what will you do? You will move the lens along the scale or along the apparatus that you have, and then you will find out two positions. You will find out two positions. You will find out two positions of the lens where you have real image formed on the screen. You will find out two positions of the lens for which real image is formed on the screen, and the distance between those two positions will be x. X is the distance between the two positions of the lens where real image is formed. If I show this thing in the diagram, this is where it is shown, and I will rub it again for you and I'll again show it to you. This is x, the distance between the two positions where you will have real image being formed. You can find out the value of x from the scale, from the apparatus that you do. You already know the value of d because that's the distance between the object and the screen. You know d. You will be able to calculate the value of x with your experiments, and then you can put this in this formula and you can calculate the focal length of this converging lens. That is the aim of the experiment, to find out the focal length of this lens, and the focal length of the lens will come as d square minus x square divided by 4 times d. That is the next thing that you have to understand. If they just tell you two images are formed, the distance between the convex lens is x or 5 centimeter or 10 centimeter, just put this in formula, get the answer and stay happy. The next point, again, the more the points you can remember, the less is the stress and the time that you will spend in the examination hall. We have already discussed that u1 and v2 are same and equal. The value of these two, gentlemen, in terms of d and x, can be shown to be equal to d minus x by 2. Once you have this value of x from the experiment, or once this value of x is given in the question, they can put the question in this way, and I will tell you the language of the question. Once we solve the question, we will come to the question. Depending on the language of the question, they might give you the value of x, they might give you the value of d, and then they ask you what is the value of u1. Just put this in formula and you should be able to get the answer. Similarly, U2, which is equal to V1, we have already shown, we have already seen that, can be proved that it will be equal to D plus X by 2. So U1 is D minus X by 2 and U2 is D plus X by 2. If you find out the magnification in first case, case number 1, you can write it as V1 by U1. So it will become D plus X upon D minus X. If you find the value of magnification in the second case, it will be V2 by U2. So D minus X upon X, D plus X. If you multiply both of these, you will always get 1. And that is the last thing that you must know about displacement method. A displacement method to find out the focal length of a convex lens. I'll give you 2 minutes, 3 minutes to go through these points once again. If you have any doubts with any of the points, please tell me. Else, we will start with 3 or 4 questions. With 3 or 4 questions, you must be ready to tackle any question that is going to come. So I'll give you 3, 4 minutes. Go through this and let me know. Have you gone through it, bacha? You need more time? Okay, I'll give you go through this because this is a part of the experiment that you're going to do. This experiment can come to you in your board exams. This is a question which will come only probably in JEE Advanced. Maybe one part can come in JEE Main. One part. So I hope that you are able to understand this. There are different things. They might be confusing. The only way you can solve this confusion is by solving 3 or 4 problems, and I'll try to give in all types of problems that are possible here. I'll give you 2 more minutes. Read the question carefully. Are we done, everyone? Shall I give you the first question? So here comes first question, and I would hope and expect that you will be able to solve it without looking into the formula. So this is the first one. In the displacement method, the distance between the object and the screen is 70 centimeters. The focal length of the lens is 16 centimeters. Find the separations of the magnified and the diminished image position of the lens. Remember, one of the images would be magnified and one of the images would be diminished. You've noted down the formula of the two magnifications. One of them is obviously greater than one of them is obviously less than one. Let me know the separation between the magnified and the diminished position of the lens. Read the question carefully. I'll give you 2 minutes to solve this. Yes, bacha, can I help you? Or you are trying to do it by your own hands? Or shall I help you? Tell me first. Can you do it on your own? Or do you need help? Do you want more time? Please let me know. Can you do it or no? Not getting any answers. I hope everyone is awake. I guess today is a very lazy day. Is that so? You're
Sir,
feeling
wait for 2 minutes, sir.
okay. I'll wait. So someone is trying. That's great. Remember, when you try, then only you get an answer or you are hopeful of an answer. I'll give you 2 minutes. As I told you, the answer is pretty simple, but the way the question is framed may be difficult. The way that language is asked may be a bit confusing. That is why I've given you the confusion question. This question has come in one of your JEEs.
Set two.
Sorry, bacha, I can't hear you. Something wrong. Did you get an answer, beta? Okay, let me solve it for you. Shall I?
Sir,
Yes, beta.
root 420.
Root of 420. Yes, 420. Root of 420 is the answer. So basically, what they're asking you, they are basically asking you the distance between the two position of the lens. Yes or no? They're asking you the distance between the two position of the lens, but the language is like that. It might confuse you. So basically, in this question, bacha, you are supposed to find out the value of x. You're supposed to find out the value of x. What all things are given to you? Let us first understand in the displacement method, the distance between the object and the screen is 70. So they have given you the value of capital D. Yes or no? They've given you the value of capital D. I hope you can see me now. They've given you the value of capital D. And the focal length of the lens, the blue one, the focal length of the lens is given as 16 centimeters. Remember, it has to be a convex lens. No questions asked, no answers given. D is given, F is given, capital D is given, F is given. You are supposed to find out the value of X. Which formula should you apply?
F equals to d square minus x square by 4d.
That is so good and so correct and so clear. D square minus x square by 4d, the formula that you see right now on your screen, that is the formula you need to apply. Just put the values, get the answer and stay happy. So I'll just apply that formula. But remember, we are not supposed to find out the focal length. Focal length is already given. F is equal to d square minus x square divided by 4d. That is the formula to find out the focal length, but they have not asked you the focal length. They will never ask you the straight away thing. In JEE Advanced, in JEE Mains, they will ask you the same thing. JEE Advanced, they will also always ask you something else. So they have asked you the value of x. So now you can make a formula for x also if you want to. So what I'll do here is I will take 4d on that side, and then I can get the formula for x. What is the formula of x that I will get? It is easy to remember. That is why I'm telling you. It is easy to remember.
D square minus 4fd.
D square minus 4fd ka root. This is basically your discriminant, beta. And this is how I remember things. This is the value of that discriminant. See, I'll take you there to that discriminant. D square minus 4FD, that is your discriminant that was coming under the root. See here, the thing that I have put in yellow, that is that same thing, the yellow thing. See, that is your distance between the two distance of the object. Do we get this? Yes or no? So if you can correlate all these things, you should be able to undermine their difficult language, and you should be able to get the answer straight away. So now I can get this as under root of d square is 70 square minus 4 multiplied by 70 multiplied by 16, whatever it comes. Someone told me it's coming as, oops, what has happened here? It's coming as root over 420. The answer that I have is not root over 420, but the answer that I have is 20.5 centimeters. I think this is approximately equal to 20.5 centimeters. That is the answer that I have. Everyone got this? Yes or no? No or yes? Confident?
Yes, sir.
Read the question and see if you can solve it in a better way. Here comes the next one. And again, I'm trying to give different. Okay, in this question, if I would have asked you, because that question is not there, if I would have asked you the value of u1 or the value of u2, can you tell me what is the value of u1 and u2 in this question only? What is the value of u1 and what is the value of u2? Remember, the value of u1 is same as v1. The value of u2 is same as, oops, the value of, see, I always make a mistake. The value of u1 is same as v2 and the value of u2 is same as v1. Can you tell me the value of these two things as well, so that in one question we can cover all the aspects of the question that can be asked? What is the value of u1? Everything is given to you. You have calculated the value of x as 20.5. Can you now tell me what is the value of u1, which should be equal to the value of u2? Wow, the value of v2. Yes, my dear friends.
Sir, 25.2.
Yes. How are you going to do this? Just you need to just go up a bit.
D minus x by 2.
D minus x by 2. And once you put the formula, get the answer, you become happy and you understand, okay, this is how I get it. Don't worry, I know how to get it. U1 is d minus x by 2. U2 is d plus x by 2. I can put these two things here in this question and I can get d is 70 minus x is 20.5. This entire thing divided by 2. Whatever you get would be your value of u1. 70 plus 20.5 divided by 2, whatever you get would be your u2. Now you can also tell me, since we are doing it, the value of m1 and m2, the magnification in the first case and the magnification in the second case. And you can find out one will be coming more than 1, the other one will be coming less than 1. What is the value of m1 and m2, my dear friends?
Nine by 5.
9 by 5 is m1. How did you get it, bacha?
V1 by U1.
v1 by u1. Very done. Very well. You can do it by u1 by u1 v1 by u1, or you can also do it this way. 70 plus 20.5
D plus
But
x by D minus x.
yes, you can also do it by this way. Whatever way you do, beta, you will end up. So this magnification is going to come greater than 1. Yes or no? The other one would be the inverse of this, 70 minus 20.5 divided by 70 plus 20.5. This, gentleman, would be your less than 1. So this is how questions are framed. And if you are careful enough, you should be able to crack them. Do we get this? Yes or no? I hope that has given you enough confidence that if you are not getting bamboozled by this problem, the other problems will not be able to harm you. Let me try to put another problem in another language and let's see how you guys fare up with this one. Remember, whatever you need to know about this method, you know much more than enough that is required to solve any problems.
Sir,
Yes, beta?
there will be no sign conventions in this method, sir.
Uh, there is what?
No sign conventions.
There is no sign convention in this method, but even if you put sign conventions, the things are going to come same. D square. See, we are not measuring anything from the lens, right? D is not measured from the lens. D is the distance between the object and the screen. No sign convention there, right? F is positive because it's only valid for a convex lens. So even there for F, there is no sign convention. Do we understand this? And for the lens formula, if you apply the sign convention also, you will get the answer. Both of the answers will be coming negative because both of the images are real. So U1 is negative and V2 is positive. Do we understand this? U1 is negative, V1 is positive. U2 is negative, V2 is positive. So the magnification, I've written it greater than 1. I've talked about the magnitude of magnification. Both the magnifications are negative. If that is what you wanted to ask, both the magnifications are negative. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Because they are real images. Real images of real objects, magnification has to come negative because V1 is coming on the other side, it is positive. U1 is on this side, it is negative. So magnification will turn out to be negative. Okay.
Yes,
Anything
sir.
else? Anything else you wanted to clarify? You wanted clarification?
No, sir.
Okay. Well done. A nice question. Why? What about the sign convention? I forgot to mention that. Thanks for pointing it out. And then. See, this is how the question is placed. They will not straight away tell you that they are talking about the displacement method. They will frame the question in such a way that you will have to understand that they are talking about the displacement method. A convex lens is placed between an object and a screen. Whenever you get a question which says a convex lens, you must always suspect that there could be this displacement method coming into the picture. A convex lens is placed between an object and a screen which are at a fixed distance apart from one position of the lens. Fixed distance. The magnification of the image formed on the screen is M1. When the lens is moved by a distance D, the magnification is M2. Ooh. In first case, the magnification is M1. In second case, the magnification is M2. Find the focal length of the lens. You know much more than what you require. Take your time, solve the question, stay happy. Do you need any help? Do you want me to help? Remember, you can make a lot of things. I've given you a lot of shortcuts. I've given you one more shortcut in the previous question. X. Here we are going to get another shortcut for F in terms of M1 and M2. But I want you to work for it, because no matter how many shortcuts I make, probably if I miss even one and they ask the same one, I want you to be able to do this. I hope you understand what I'm saying, bacha. There are a lot many things here. There is U1, there is V1, there is U2, there is V2, there is M1, there is M2, there is D, there is X, there is F. There are so many things. And they can give you any two and ask the rest. So even if I try different combination, 7C2, there are a lot many combinations that can be made. Yes or no? Do you understand this? 7C2 or 7C3, lot many combinations can be made. This is given, this is given, this is asked. What? This is given, this is given, this is asked. What? I've given you the most probable ones, which I have seen come in exam multiple times. Multiple times. This one is again from one of your JEEs. Let's see if you can do this one. Shall I help you out, or you can do it on your own? Given up with a smile?
Sir, wait for a while.
Okay. Remember, beta, JEE just test your patience. When I say JEE, I mean JEE Advanced. If you are patient enough for long enough, you should be able to get it. I'll give you 2 minutes. I really want you to do it. That is why.
Sir,
Yes, beta. Yes, bacha.
dm1 divided by m1 square minus 1.
D M1 upon.
m1 square minus 1.
Beta, M2 is not coming. Is that possible? Why M2 is given then? You have done the right thing, I think, but probably you have made a small mistake somewhere, bacha. M1 and M2 both should come, na? Don't you think so?
Yes, sir.
So M1 and M2 both are not coming, bacha. So maybe you have just done a mistake somewhere. So a small mistake somewhere. M2 will not be, you will not be able to eliminate M2. That's what my understanding is. Try it. Well done. You tried. Trials are important. Remember, the same question may just well appear in your exam. Yes, I have an answer from the girl. Yes, bacha, tell me. No one? Eh? Don't worry. I'm not bothered about the wrong answers. I have got wrong answers my entire life, but I have gone through with them. Wrong answers don't matter. Not trying matters, because then you give up. If you try, I'm sure you are going to get something, some answer. And then when you see how it is done, you will realize, oh, this small mistake I was doing. If I would have been more careful, I would have not done this mistake. And if you would not have done the mistake, probably you would have ended up with the right answer. The once you get the right answer with your own hands, or once you understand that you've done a very simple mistake, that gives you confidence that the next time around you will not be doing that mistake. And that confidence is to carry in the examination hall. Well, no one is going to stop you from clearing it. That confidence I need, that if a question comes which I have not given you a shortcut for, can you still? And remember, there will not be a question in JEE Mains that comes that way. I can give you that in writing, but there could be one or more questions which do not come exactly in the same language that I give you. There could be one or more questions. So I'm preparing you for those questions, my dear friend. If they come, will you be able to tackle them or not? Shall I help you? Okay, I'll give you 2 more minutes. Then I would probably give you a hint. Do you want me to give a hint? Or you are okay without one? A hint is what hint I will give you. I'll just show you some previous things and I'll show you. Look at this. Take a deep breath. Chill. Life does not end. Deep breath, chill, calm down, and then do it. And I am sure you can do this. Deep breath, calm down, chill. Try to see what is given to you. Try to see in what form it is given and what do you know about it. This is the question right now on your screens. What is given to you are magnifications. So let me write the magnification. I've already told you the formula for magnifications. Yes or no? So it is M1 is D plus X divided by D minus X. Yes or no? And your M2, M1 and M2 are known to me. D minus X upon D plus X. Now here the problem is that M1 is known in terms of D and X. M2 is also known in terms of D and X. But I have to find the focal length. Focal length does not picture anywhere. But I know one more thing, that focal length is equal to, what was the formula of focal length? D square minus X square divided by 4D. Yes or no? No, yes? You all understand this? Now see, if I multiply M1 by M2, I'll end up with 1, nothing I get. If someone of you knows chess, there is something known as a forced move in a chess. You cannot move anything else because everything else is illegal move. If I have to get F in terms of M1 and M2, that is I am sure. I cannot multiply M1 and M2 because if I multiply M1 and M2, I end up with 1. I will get nothing. So only two things that I can do is either I can add M1 and M2 or subtract. What happens if I subtract? M1 minus M2 is how much? Now, as soon as you do M1 minus M2, the first thing that you notice is in the numerator, you will get the LCM, which is D square minus X square. And what the next thing that you will notice is that on one side I will have D plus X the whole square, and with a minus sign I will have D minus X the whole square. Remember, it's all about maths. Physics has got nothing to do with this. It's all about maths and how do you solve it. Simple maths. Do we understand this? Yes or no? No, yes. Now it is A plus B square minus A minus B whole square. All of you know this. How much is that? It is 4 times dx upon d square minus x square. Yes or no? No, yes. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now we open our eyes and see the 94% of the universe that we can see, only the 4% of the universe that you can see. Open your eyes and look here. 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 You see something extravagant, right?
1 by F.
1 by F. Yes, bacha, that is what you wanted to see. So this is nothing but equal to X by F. And we have this legendary formula, which I did not give to you in the first instant because of this particular question that I had to solve. Now you have this formula. You can write this in that formula here. This F can be written as X upon M1 minus M2. Another one of those formula. Remember, if I would have given this formula beforehand, you would have done nothing. Yeah, you would have smiled and said f upon m1 minus m2. Life becomes so simple. But if that formula is not known to you, life becomes a bit tough. But it does not become impossible. Do we understand this? Yes or no? No, yes.
Yes, sir.
So remember, there's nothing that I have not told you that you can't do. The only thing is how many things you can remember. How many things you can remember. I told you the bare minimum ones. Bare minimum ones. If you can't remember this, nothing like it. Shall we move on to the next one? Have you noted this down? I'll give you 2 minutes to note it down. Have you noted it down? This is the formula that I devised. I can see a thumbs up coming from the extreme back.
Noted, sir.
I can't see the girl, but I can see her.
Noted, sir.
Okay, sir. Now let us see if you can quickly do this one. Remember, JEE is not cleared in the examination hall, my dear friend. JEE is cleared right now, sitting here. Once you have done one thing once, you should be able to use it again. And here comes that question. And probably this question might help you in remembering what we have learned. In a displacement method, they might not say displacement method. In a displacement method using lens, it has to be a convex lens. We obtain two images for a separation of the length d, small d. One image is magnified as much as the other is diminished. If m is the magnification of one of the image, what is the focal length of the lens? Let's see if you can solve this one. It's a simple one. Remember, there is nothing that I have not told you that you cannot do. 2 minutes you have to show me your talents. I'm sure you will be able to solve this one and not forget the result.
Sir,
Yes,
dm by m square minus 1.
and that is the answer that the other child was giving me in the first question, and that was also the correct answer. Because you must understand that if one magnification is known to me, bacha, I wanted to do this question, that is why I not gave you that answer then. Once you know one magnification, you know the other magnification already. Because both the magnification, if you multiply, it gives you 1. Who was telling me the answer of md upon m square minus 1? And I said, can you eliminate the two magnifications? And then I did not get any answer. Who was this? Who was the child who gave me the answer of md upon m square minus 1?
Hanok sir.
Yes, beta. You gave me the answer md upon m square minus 1.
Yes sir.
Why did not you say? I asked you, can you eliminate one of the magnifications? I said, I don't think so. You did not reply. You can eliminate any of the magnification. Remember this. And it's a very important lesson that you should learn here. F, we have got it from the previous result, is D upon M1 minus M2. Everyone understands this? Now remember, bacha, M1 into M2 is 1. So I don't need to know the other magnification if I know the first one. I don't need to know the other magnification if I know the first one. If I know M1, I know M2. If I know M2, I know M1. I only need one magnification. I don't need the other one. Do we understand this? So now one of the magnification is M. The other magnification becomes 1 by M. Do we understand this? Just put it in the formula and you stay happy always. So now the formula becomes D upon, let me call, now it depends on which one is more than 1 and which one is less than 1. So the formula might change from 1 minus M square to M square minus 1. If that M that we are taking is more than 1, it will be M square minus 1. If that M that we are taking is less than 1, it will be 1 minus M square. Do we understand this? Positive and negative calafla. So if I take that M which is greater than 1, so my answer will be M square MD upon M square minus 1. Do we understand what I'm saying? It could be MD upon 1 minus M square also, beta. Getting my point? Because it is not said in the question whether this M is greater than 1 or this M is less than 1. Got it? So that is how you can solve any question on this category. I have done all types of permutation and combination that I knew have come in the exam, and can come in the exam. I've given all sorts of permutation and combination that were possible. With this, we actually come. Oops, what has happened? Something not good. My computer seems not to respond. I hope everything is fine in this universe. Okay, this thing is working, this thing is not. Or this thing is not. Or which thing is not? This thing is not. The other things are working? Yes, other things are working. So one of the sheets has somehow decided to say bye-bye. So let me open that. Okay. Have we understood this? Anyone has any doubts on this? Please come up. We have gone through the entire chapter. The entire chapter is done and dusted from my side. I'll give you 5 minutes. Go through everything that we have done up till now, from reflection till refraction till now. If there's anything that is bothering you, please tell me. I can clear it right now itself. If any of the points that you have not understood, anything that is troubling you, please tell me now, so that we can clear it now itself. Any question from anywhere that has troubled you? You think that you want more clarification on that? Please tell me. I'll give you 5 minutes. Go through this. Okay. Till the time that you are going through it, I have got one question which I just saw based on the same. This is the type of question that you are more likely to encounter in a JEE main. This is JEE main. This is purely JEE main. You might not get this question in JEE advanced because this is pure straightforward, straight one. So can you get me the answer for this one? It's a straightforward one. Question number 1, straightforward JEE main. What about this one? Can you tell me how are you going to solve this one, bacha? The question straight away says the distance between an object and the screen is 100 centimeters. It cannot be more straight than this. A lens produces an image on the screen when placed on either of the positions 40 centimeters apart. Oh, what is the power of the lens? Power of the lens, they have asked. Let's see who gets me this answer.
Sir, option B.
Option B. Let me check. I'm just looking at a question of JEE, which I'm okay. I got it. Yes. Which was the question? Yes. Option
B, sir.
B, sir. That is correct, sir. So what all things are given to you, sir? Tell me fatafat. The distance between the object and the lens. So you are given D, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And then you are given the distance between the two. Oops, wrong color. You are given the distance between the two positions of the lens. Yes or no? So you are
Yes.
given the value of x, and they are simply asking you to find the focal length and the power. You can straight away put the formula f is equal to d square minus d square by 4d. From there you will get the focal length of the lens. I think it is coming somewhere as 20 centimeters or 21 centimeters. Yes or no? Then you can find the power of the lens. Yes or no? 1 by f, so it will come sorry, 100 by f, so it will come approximately equal to 5 diopter. Do we understand this? Yes or no?
Sir.
Everyone understands this? Shall I move ahead? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Sir.
Let's see. I was looking for this question. Oops, 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 oops. And I'll say nothing about this. Let's see if anyone can do this. Find the position and the nature of image formed by lens combination as shown in the figure. Dung, 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 dung. F1 and F2 are focal lengths. Everything is given. You're supposed to tell me the answer. It's a combination of two lenses. Combination of two lenses. How are you going to solve this? Remember, we had made a formula for this combination of two lenses. Yes or no? Yes or no? 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2 minus d by f1 f2. You understand this? We remember that formula?
Yes, sir.
Remember, that formula is only valid when d is very small compared to the focal length. Here, can you apply that formula? No, you cannot apply that formula here. So how you are supposed to do this? If you can't apply that formula, how are you supposed to do this? From which lens is the refraction going to happen first? This is the first lens from which refraction will happen, yes or no? It will create an image, and that image will act as an object for this lens. Do we understand this, my dear friends?
Yes.
And
Yes, sir.
then you have to find out, then you have to find out the position of the final image. Solve this, and then I'll show you something more interesting. Remember, in which year this happened? 2019 JEE Main. I'll show you something more interesting. Now, meanwhile, since you are indulged in solving this question, I'll just show you a snapshot which I wanted to do in the last class yesterday, and I just forgot of this question. Now, this is a very long question and it's not going to come on the screen together, so I've just put it in screen. And this is the question number 18 from JEE Advanced paper of this year. As you can see, same question that came in JEE Mains. It had 4 different parts in JEE Advanced in this year's JEE Advanced. So, as I told you, I don't consider JEE Main as an exam because it is a speed. It's a test of your speed. This exam was also a test of your speed. If you keep on doing the questions correctly, same question will happen here. See, almost similar question. One is a concave lens, the other one is a convex lens. Here we have one concave, one convex. There they have different combination, one concave, one convex, one concave, one plano concave, and all that. Doesn't make any difference. They are similar questions. Do we understand this? Yes or no? See, and this question was already how many marks? 4 marks, I think. And these 4 marks were given for free. Take them for free. Just take them for free. Right? If you can take them for free, take them for free. This is JEE Advanced. This is JEE Main. And I can tell you that JEE Main was tougher than JEE Advanced. Because in JEE Main, you had something that you had to calculate. In JEE Advanced, you did not have to calculate. If I just show you, see, if I just show you how this JEE Advanced wala question was simpler. Do you see this 20 centimeters here? Anyone sees this 20 centimeters here in this JEE Advanced ka question? Yes or no? Do we see this 20 centimeters? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That was placed on the 2f of the concave convex lens. So where is the image form? You don't have to calculate that. You know 20 centimeters behind. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
In all the cases, it was same, bacha. Yes or no? This question was simpler than the question that you are attempting right now. Do we understand this? Simple,
Yes, sir.
simple things if you remember, simple questions if you do correctly, I'm sure. See, you don't have to calculate the first V in any case because you know the first V is going to come 20 centimeters behind the mirror, behind the lens in all the cases. One part is already given to you. You just have to find out the final image. As simple as it gets. Anyways, we are not discussing that question because it is simpler one. We are going to discuss someone which is probably requiring a bit more calculations. Yes, bacha. Anyone with an answer for this one? Yes. I'm hopeful.
Sir, option B, sir.
Option B is absolutely correct, my dear friends. This is absolutely correct. Well done. I hope you gain confidence solving this question. This is what I need in my case, that they must be confident. Let us first put the formula for the first lens. 1 by V, 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. Tell me the values, but fatafat bacha. First
1 by V equals to 3 by 20.
is 1 by 5. The value of V I don't know. Minus what is the value of U? It is minus 20. Yes or no, bacha? So I will get the value of V as how much is the value of V coming, beta?
20 by 3
Plus or minus?
plus.
Plus 20 by 3. So it will go somewhere behind here. Yes or no, beta? Because 20 by 3 is more than 2. Yes or no? Are say
Yes, sir.
huh?
Yes, sir.
So this is 20 by 3. I always talked about virtual objects. I never gave you an example of virtual object. This, my dear friend, is a virtual object. Do we understand this? See, the object from here, tongue. If I just draw a vague ray diagram, the object from here, after rays getting refracted, they are going to go like this, tongue, and tongue. But they will not go. So this object, which is the image of the first lens, is a virtual object for the second lens. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
This is how you create virtual objects. This is the best way of creating a virtual object. So whenever you have a virtual object, you will have some lens put in front. That lens will create an image of that object, and that object may be acting as a virtual object for the second lens which is behind, or there could be a concave mirror put behind. So it will act as virtual object for the concave mirror. Do we understand this? Once we get the value of this as 20 by 3, I have to calculate this value. How will I get this value? This will be 20 by 3 minus 2. Yes or no? No, yes?
Yes, sir.
So this new u will become 14 by 3. Will it be plus 14 by 3 or will it be minus 14 by 3?
Plus 14 by 3.
Virtual object, it is backwards. Well done. So again, I put the formula 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u, still a lens. What is the focal length of this lens, bacha? Minus 1 by 5, yes or no? Focal length is same.
Yes, sir.
Will be equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. U is, so it will be 3 by 14 positive. Yes or no? From here, you shall get the value of V, and I think the value of V that you are going to get is plus 70. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Plus centimeter behind, plus 70 centimeters behind the lens. But there are two options which are like this: real or virtual. Na, 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 na. What then? Is it a real image or is it a virtual image? How do you find it out whether it's real or virtual? Huh?
నమ్మకం లేదా
Yes, beta.
Real.
సార్
Virtual. Why virtual? Everything must come with an answer. Come with a. Yes, beta.
Real, sir.
It is real. Why it is real? How did you get it is real? You find the magnification of the first lens is V by U. This magnification is coming positive or negative? This magnification will come negative, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then the next magnification, again you find it out by V by U. Will it come positive or negative? It will come positive, yes or no?
Yes.
And then I gave you a formula just in the last class. If you have more than 2 mirrors, more than 2 lenses, more than 2, how do you find out the total magnification? That is multiplied, yes or no? If you multiply negative with a positive, what do you end up with? You end up with a positive sign, yes or no? You end up with a negative sign, yes or no? And therefore, the final image is inverted. Real object, final image is inverted, and hence it is real. Do we understand this? Yes or no? No, yes.
Yes, sir.
That is the answer that we get, my dear friends. Okay. See,
Sir, we can use direct formula F minus V by F. sir.
that is the formula for one lens, beta, not for two lenses combination.
For concave mirror, we
It's
have.
not mirror.
Sir,
They are
we have
both.
for concave lens, we have V and F, no, sir.
But the final image is formed. The magnification, you get it from the magnification, that combined magnification of the two. Do we understand this? The combined magnification of the two.
Yes, sir.
And if you just find it out from the concave lens, the object is virtual. The magnification actually is inverse of what we know. So for a real image, from a real object, if the image is real, for a real object, magnification is negative. But the image, if it is real for a virtual object, the magnification is positive. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So it's inverse of, for virtual object, the magnification is inverse. So basically, if you don't want to get into all that clarification, what you do is you multiply the first magnification by the second magnification. Okay? And you have your answer. Got this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Time for one more simple question, and you can see, beta, if you remember simple things, remember. Again, one of the question from JEE Main. Formation of a real image using a biconvex lens is shown below. If the whole setup is immersed in water without disturbing the object and the screen position, what will be observed on the screen? Tongue. Last question. Now here, the refractive index are not given. So you should remember that refractive index of glass is taken as 3/2 and refractive index of water is taken as 4/3. Do we understand this? What will happen here? Now remember, the best way to understand this question, what happens if I immerse, we have discussed this, if I immerse a lens inside a liquid, what happens to the focal length? Does it increase? Does it decrease? Remember it? Does it increase? Does it decrease? Does it remain same?
Increase, sir.
Increase, sir. Now look at the object position. No change is not possible because the focal length changes. So this option is not possible. Yes or no? Okay. Now, what are the other options? Now, if the focal length changes, so basically what will happen? This focus will start to shift here. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This focus will start to shift here. Now, if this object comes right at the focus, the image will be formed at infinity. Yes or no? The
Yes,
object
sir.
and if it goes, if the focus goes beyond this will come between the focus and the pole or the center, and the image will be virtual. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So basically, you can have this option if it is still between F and 2F. You will have this option if it is at F. You will have this option if it is between F and O. So you basically have to find out how much is the change in the focal length of the lens. And how will you find out? I told you na, focal length of the liquid is focal length in air. I told you that formula, na, shortcut formula. Do you remember this? That formula? Just put that formula, mu of glass with respect to air minus 1 divided by mu of glass with respect to water minus 1. You find out the focal length, how much has the focal length become. And I think mu glass is 3/2, 3/2 minus 1 is half. And mu water is 4/3, 3/2 divided by 4/3 will become, I think, 1/8. 1/2 divided by 1 by, I think you will get 4 times focal length in air. Yes or no? If I put the values correctly, mu of water is 4/3 and mu of glass is 3/2. You'll have to calculate it. Or you can remember this formula that if it is immersed in water and refractive index of water is 4/3, it will become 4 times. If it becomes 4 times, the object comes between focus and O. Yes or no? And hence only one option is correct. And that option is, you will have a real erect image. You can, as I told you, you can keep calculating this. You can remember one calculation for this. If it is immersed in water whose refractive index is 4/3, the refractive index of glass is 3/2. If you put the values 3/2 and 4/3 here, the focal length in the liquid will become 4 times focal length in air. As I told you, beta, it's more about remembering a lot of things. If you don't remember, you'll have to calculate. Do we understand this? As I told
Yes,
you,
sir.
JEE is not cleared in the examination hall. In the examination hall, if you're wasting 2 minutes on this and someone who knows this beforehand will just take it and go away. Yes or no? And you will be 2 minutes behind him straight away in the first question. It becomes difficult for pickup. Okay. On that note, we finished this class, and we also finished the chapter on refraction and ray optics. Ray optics is done. We move with wave optics in the next class.
Sir,
And
microscope.
microscope and telescope, probably we'll do it afterwards. There are 2 formulas. If you want, I can take one class. I can do that. Well, we will do microscope telescope if you want to. We'll do that. No, not a problem. I was thinking of doing wave optics. I can do microscope telescope, not a problem. But again, that is all about drawing and just remembering things. There's nothing that you have to understand as such, apart from 1 or 2 definitions. You just have to remember definition, because the way the magnifying power of a eyepiece is defined may be different from how it is defined for an objective. There is no reason that's how it is defined. You will have to remember the diagram, and you will have to remember the points, nothing else. We'll do it. Let us see. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Yeah, any doubts, please let me know.